Everyone wears a mask. Sometimes it's polished and charismatic, sometimes noble and humble, sometimes self-effacing, but it's still a mask crafted not to reflect who they are, but to shape how you see them. Machiavelli never trusted appearances. He studied people like a surgeon studies anatomy under pressure, under stress, under time, because only in those conditions does the mask crack and the truth slip through. He didn't just read people, he exposed them. In today's world crowded with charmers, liars, influencers, false friends, smooth talkers, and virtue actors, you need more than instinct. You need Machiavellian X-ray vision, the ability to pierce the performance and see the real intention pulsing underneath. First, watch how they treat the powerless. The first law of Machiavellian psychology is this: how someone treats people they don't need is who they really are. Anyone can act gracious in front of a boss. Anyone can feign respect when there's a benefit at stake. The real test is how they behave toward those who offer them nothing: waiters, assistants, cleaners, strangers. If kindness evaporates when there's no advantage, it was never kindness, it was calculation. And as their power grows, that calculation turns to exploitation. If their charm fades when the cameras switch off, if their tone changes the moment the deal is signed, if their smile disappears when no one is watching, you've just glimpsed the face beneath the mask. Machiavelli cared less about words and more about how people acted when they believed there were no consequences. That's when instinct takes over. Next, test their ego. The mask always looks calm until you touch the ego it shields. That's when composure cracks. Machiavelli would never attack someone directly. He'd apply subtle pressure, question their intelligence lightly, overlook their contributions, praise their rival just enough to sting. Then he'd watch fragile egos defend themselves like cornered animals. They interrupt, overshare, try to one-up you, or pretend not to care while their demeanor betrays them. The trick isn't to strike at the person, but to shake the foundation of the identity they've built. The intellectual can't stand being ignored. The kind person can't handle being seen as cold. The respected leader crumbles when dismissed. Find the foundation, then shake it. Also, speak less than you listen. Silence is psychological pressure. People wear masks because they assume you're not paying attention, that you're just waiting to talk. But if you want the truth, say less. Silence creates a void, and humans hate voids. They rush to fill them, often revealing what they never intended. Let them talk, let them explain, let them over-explain. In their eagerness to impress or justify themselves, contradictions appear. Their values won't match their actions. Their language will betray hidden resentment or ambition. Every unnecessary word is a thread from their masky pulling, and it unravels. The next time someone is selling you their personality, ask a short question, then say nothing. Watch what spills out. Overcompensation is confession, and silence is your scalpel. Finally, stress test their morality, but indirectly. If you ask, would you betray a friend? They'll say no. Everyone has morals when asked outright. Machiavellian insight comes from scenarios, not surveys. If you want to know whether someone would betray a friend, casually mention how friendship can sometimes get in the way of business. Watch them. Do they flinch? Agree too quickly? Stay silent. If you want to see if they'd lie under pressure, tell a story about a time you had to lie. Then observe. Do they judge you or do they relate? They try to one-up you with their own story. Good. That's a tell. Machiavelli would never bluntly ask if a man was loyal. He'd plant a lie, confess to a betrayal, or engineer a dilemma and watch which way the other person leaned. Because values aren't revealed by declarations, they're exposed by temptations. Next, compare their words to their patterns, not their moments. Anyone can fake virtue for a day. Anyone can say the right thing once. But no mask survives pattern recognition. This is Machiavelli's final trick. Stop judging people by what they say today, and start tracking their long-term behavioral trail. They say they don't gossip, yet they know every rumor. They claim discipline, yet their results show chaos. They preach loyalty, yet every circle they've left calls them a traitor. When actions and words clash repeatedly, you're not looking at inconsistency, you're looking at a mask. Most people miss this because they remember conversations, but forget patterns. The Machiavellian mind never forgets patterns, because patterns don't lie. Once you see the inconsistency, you stop being fooled. Everyone hides something. The kindest faces often guard the darkest ambitions. The most noble statements often protect the weakest egos. Machiavelli didn't waste time looking for good people. He looked for predictable people, those whose masks could be read, manipulated, and neutralized. And now you can too. Because once you've mastered this, you stop hearing their words and start hearing their intentions. While they're smiling, you'll already know what they're hiding. But seeing the mask is only step one. The real power lies in using what you've learned without letting them realize you've exposed them. Machiavelli never ripped masks off that's noisy, dangerous, and breeds enemies. Instead, he let people keep their masks, then used those masks to influence their choices, control their behavior, and turn them into tools for his own plans. This is next-level X-ray vision. You don't just see through the mask, you speak to it. Never let them know what you know. The worst mistake is revealing you've seen their real face. Do that, and they'll either shut you out or construct a stronger mask, one you can't read. Both make them harder to control. Machiavelli let enemies think they were fooling him. He let allies believe their manipulation was working. All the while, he rewrote the script behind the curtain. Let them believe you see their kindness, not their ambition. Let them believe their words sway you. As long as they believe the mask works, they won't change a tand. That's when you own the game. Then, predict their moves. Once you've decoded someone's real identity, you gain predictive power. Most people respond to behavior in real time. You respond to intentions in advance. If you know they crave validation, you know they'll crack when ignored. If they resent authority, you know they'll sabotage the leader eventually. If they play nice to dodge confrontation, you know they'll fold under pressure. Machiavelli predicted betrayal not by watching actions, but by reading the motive beneath the mask. That's how you stay 2 moves ahead, seeing not only what they do, but what they're about to do. Finally, feed the mask to keep them predictable. When they think the mask works, they stay in character. And when they stay in character, they're easy to manage. That's the art. Don't challenge the mask. Feed it. Compliment the humble man on his modesty while he competes in secret. Praise the peacemaker's calm while you watch them leverage neutrality for influence. Tell the real one how authentic they seem while they weaponize that image to manipulate trust. Machiavelli understood that feeding a man's illusion keeps him docile, too busy performing the role to realize he's being used. While he feels in control of his image, you remain in control of him. The next step is to create situations that force the truth to act. Once you understand the mask, you can design traps that confirm what's underneath. This isn't about confrontation, it's about engineering. Spot someone wearing the mask of loyalty. Suspect it's conditional. Create a moment where loyalty comes at a cost. Withhold attention. Present a choice between helping you or protecting themselves. Offer a tempting reward that requires betraying a principle they claim to uphold. Don't accuse, don't warn, just watch. Machiavelli baited his rivals not by arguing, but by handing them rope. Left to act freely, they shattered their own mask, under the weight of their choices. And when the truth spilled out, he didn't need to call them out, he simply kept the evidence, waiting until it became the perfect leverage. The final phase is to weaponize the mask itself. This is where the strategy turns brutal and brilliant. If you know who they are but the world doesn't, you can aim their performance like a weapon. Let the false loyalist be your mess. When they inevitably betray, let the blow land on your enemies. Let the fake peacemaker mediate a dispute you know will implode and profit from the chaos. Let the humble martyr soak up attention, then feed them pride until they overexpose their ambition. Machiavelli's genius wasn't just seeing through people, it was turning their falsehood into his tool. Liars lied on his command, traitors acted noble at his convenience, and all the while they believed their act was flawless. You don't have to break their illusion, you just have to aim it. The real power of X-ray vision isn't merely in seeing through people, it's in keeping that knowledge hidden. The less they suspect you know, the more predictable they become, and the longer they believe they're safe, the deeper your reach. That's the true Machiavellian method. Don't tear off the mask. Let them live in it while you build the trap beneath their stage. Then, you turn the blade. Machiavelli knew survival and dominance require wearing a mask of your own, not a flimsy fake smile, not an obvious performance, not a shallow brand that collapses under tension. Your mask must be bulletproof, engineered with precision, silence, and psychological control, so complete that even those closest to you can't see where the performance ends and the truth begins. The most effective mask doesn't hide you, it makes others project what they want to see. Machiavelli perfected this in court. He never appeared dominant, he appeared harmless, quiet, helpful, observant until he outlasted everyone. Most people don't want the real you, they want their version of you. Give it to them. Around the ambitious, be their eager ally. Around empaths, be gentle and reflective. Around intellectuals, be curious and humble. Mirror them just enough to make them feel comfortable and in control. When they feel understood and superior, their guard drops and you gain full access to their real self. while keeping yours invisible. To cement the illusion, leak minor flaws. The most dangerous mask is the one that pretends to show everything. People trust what they think they've already figured out. Offer them a carefully chosen imperfection, a small mistake that makes you seem humble, a personal detail that feels intimate but means nothing. Let them see you slip in a way that deepens their confidence in the mask. This is false transparency. They believe, if they told me that, they must be honest. In reality, you've given them a decoy, and while they stop looking deeper, your real strategy remains buried. The mask tightens around their expectations, and you vanish into the role they wrote for you. Shift your mask to match the environment, without losing the core beneath it. The weak wear the same mask everywhere. The powerful adapt. Machiavelli's genius was fluidity. He could speak like a friend to commoners, like a scholar to the elite, and like a shadow to the paranoid. Your mask must evolve depending on the arena. In business.com, confidence. In conflict, stillness and patience. In intimacy, depth and mystery. The key is consistency beneath variation. This core is the through line people subconsciously anchor. 2. If your mask changes too much, they sense danger, but if it shifts just enough, they trust you blindly even when the version they see is pure performance. Speak only enough to guide the narrative, never enough to be fully understood. Most people overshare, mistaking openness for strength. They fill silence, explain every decision, answer every question. You do not. Your words exist only to maintain control of the image. When asked directly, answer indirectly. When pressured, reverse it with silence. If a misunderstanding benefits you, never correct it. Machiavelli used ambiguity like a blade, writing just enough truth to be quoted, but never enough to be cornered. That's your aim too. Let them argue about what you meant. Debate your motives. Project their needs into your silence. Clarity makes you vulnerable. Unreadability turns you into a mirror, and in mirrors, people only see themselves. That's not deception, it's design. The ultimate mask doesn't just protect you, it becomes something others are emotionally invested in. Once they believe your mask is real, they weave parts of their identity around it. The boss who could never fire you. The friend who sees you as their unshakable advisor. The lover who swears you're the only honest one they've known. Let them believe it, let them need it. When they invest in the illusion, they defend it against outsiders and against the truth. They ignore red flags. They shield your name. In rooms you've never entered, they attack anyone who doubts the image they've embraced. At that point, the mask sustains itself. It needs no effort because they want it to be true. Machiavelli understood that identity is performance, perception is currency, and those who control perception control the room. Now, you have the eyes to see through masks like glass and the skill to wear one like armor. But his ultimate mastery wasn't just perception, it was systemic influence. He didn't merely read people or protect himself. He reshaped entire environments by manipulating the illusions others wore while concealing his own. He knew that if you control how people see themselves and how they see you, force is unnecessary, you've already won. This is where masks become instruments of long-term dominance, not through threat or spectacle, but through subtle psychological rewiring. You control people by controlling the characters they believe they're playing. First, mirror their masks back to them until they need it to survive. Every mask hides a weakness, a need, a fear, or a lie they can't admit. Machiavelli wouldn't attack it, he'd validate it. To the man posing as the unshakable protector, people feel safe around you. To the woman cloaking herself in moral superiority, your values are rare. To the snake behind false humility, it's impressive how grounded you stay. Why? Because when someone believes you see their mask and approve of it, they cling to it even harder around you. That's leverage. They now strive to be consistent not with who they truly are, but with the role you've reinforced. And when you control the role, you control the behavior. Here's the truth Machiavelli understood. People don't crave freedom, they crave to be needed. Once you've reinforced someone's mask, begin aligning it with your own interests. You're the only one I trust to handle this. People listen to you, they'd follow your lead. I couldn't do this without you. You're not appealing to their emotions, you're cementing their value through the persona they've built. They feel empowered, essential, proud of the role they've crafted because you validated it. From here, their behavior becomes predictable. They start performing for you, even if they dislike or distrust you, because you've made their mask profitable. Take that away, and they lose the identity they believe gives them worth. Next, use their mask to isolate them when they see you. As the one who truly understands them, you subtly reframe their view of others. They don't see what I see in you. Most people misread your strengths, that's why I trust you more. This breeds emotional isolation. They grow detached from others and increasingly dependent on your recognition to sustain their identity. This isn't friendship, it's psychological dependency, and it's stronger than loyalty. Then, let others defend your mask. By now you've built your own persona so convincingly that others believe in it. Take it further, make them protect it. Let them think you're the calm one, the humble one, the wise strategist. When suspicion arises, you say nothing. Others will rush to your defense. No way, that's not who they are. You're reading too much into it. Your reputation becomes a fortress guarded by people who would never believe you're playing them. This is Machiavellian defense, not self-justification, but social insulation. To destroy an opponent's mask, never strike directly. Let it fail in front of an audience. Praise them into overconfidence so they overreach. Put them in situations where their persona can't survive. The wise leader makes an impulsive mistake. The humble servant starts bragging. The loyal friend lets jealousy slip. You don't accuse, you simply let the performance collapse under pressure. When it does, you act surprised, disappointed, silent. The room turns. Trust evaporates. The truth emerges. And your hands remain spotless. Finally, leave before anyone realizes you engineered it. The most powerful move is disappearance. Let the betrayal unfold. Let the manipulation settle. Let the mask fall and the new order lock in, then vanish without a word. No speech. No gloating, just absence. Your influence continues without you, your fingerprints invisible. This is Machiavellian X-ray vision at its highest form. You see them clearly, hide yourself completely, bend their persona into usefulness, build loyalty around the lies they need, and then when the game is won, already gone. No applause, no explanation, only the quiet shift of power in your favor.